Hello there and welcome to Trial TV Live. I am the Squeegee of Justice. Thank you so much for joining us today as we are continuing our coverage of New Jersey versus Sean Higgins. This is a case management hearing. Hello there and welcome. And this is, this is a case management hearing where we've been following this all year. This is, let me kick us over here, so you guys can get an idea of why we're covering this and what this story is about. So, Sean Higgins, he's on the bottom there, is 44. On the evening of August 29th of 2024, he was drinking. He had a beer, I believe, open containers in the car. I believe he had about six beers. He had been drinking since maybe 12 or 1 o'clock. And he was trying to pass 2 cars. He says one car pulled out, the truck pulled out in front of him. He pulled back, and then in the process of pulling back, he struck and killed Matthew and Johnny Gaudreau, who are, if you're a hockey fan, Johnny Hockey. He was a brilliant hockey player. And he and his brother were in New Jersey for the wedding of their sister, and they were struck and they were killed. So let me read through our description here. So Sean Higgins, 44, of Woodstown, New Jersey, faces multiple charges stemming from a fatal incident on August 29th, 2024 in Oldmans Township. He is accused of striking and killing NHL player Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew. They were bicycling, so they were on pedal bikes. Now, they had been drinking as well, but they were on pedal bikes, and Sean had been drinking. He admits that. So he's been charged with 2 counts of reckless vehicular homicide, aggravated manslaughter, as well as evidence tampering and leaving the scene. So we saw this in the last hearing where he claims, so he hit the 2 brothers, and he claims that the prosecution is saying, well, he kept going until he couldn't run anymore, he couldn't drive anymore, and the state is saying his car couldn't run, so he basically just kind of stopped, right? So he wasn't fleeing the scene, but his car just stopped. If his car or his truck was still able to be operated, who knows if he would have kept going. So now Higgins had a BAC, a blood alcohol content level of 0.087. Now 0.08 is generally the legal limit. The witnesses, there were 2 cars that he tried to pass, and one witness said that he came up on them really fast and aggressively, and he was like zooming in and out. Higgins says he tried to pass, and then this SUV pulled out in front of him, so he tried to pull back, and then that's when he hit the brothers. So let's see who's in our chat before we go any further. We have Fur Baby's mom, Only Fan, hello to you. Marsh 13, Missy Russell and Baca. Lily Wayne, Brenda Meyer, good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Mac RN. Sorry, Mac RN. You are near this, right? We were talking about that, so we're looking forward to hearing more from you as this trial progresses. Katya, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. So as you remember last time, this feed is coming in from a website, so it could get a little, we had to wait, I think, a good 20 minutes last time. So it's scheduled to start at 1:30, but as we know with trials, it could shift. I'm just going to keep refreshing the page. We're streaming Lori Daybell over here, so in 10 minutes, I'm going to have to bounce over here and get that going. So I am going to be dual streaming, but hopefully we can make this all work for everybody. So let's see. Green-eyed Cat saying hello. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. For all of you recovering being an alcoholic, Missy says, for those that have recovered from being an alcoholic, I'm so proud of you. And Mac RN. Katya, you're good? Busy with all the court stuff? Absolutely. Now we have done some deep dives on this. We've played a bunch of pre-trials. We've done news reports. So if you are not familiar with the case, I would suggest going to our playlist and checking that out. I would like to, I just want to focus on this hearing for today, and we'll just stick with that. We won't do any pre-trial news reports and all that. So we are basically just going to wait. We're just going to sit and wait. Let me see here. And sadly, not a lot of people are covering this, which is, again, it's a shame, but that's just the way it is. So we're also keeping our eye on California versus Carlos Dominguez. They are we're in verdict watch, but we want to cover this because this is important, and it's hopefully going to be going on. And then once this is done, we'll kick over to Carlos. So that's kind of where we stand right now. So we're just kind of in a hurry up and wait sort of mode, if you will. Let me pull up some. Let me see. You know what I can do. I took notes from the last hearing. Let me go through those while we wait. We can at least do that. Let's see. Sean Higgins. All right, let's see here. All right, some stats on, okay, so Johnny Gaudreau, he had a distinguished 11-season career in the National Hockey League, NHL. He began with the Calgary Flames. They selected him in the 4th round, which was 104th overall, in 2011. He played for Calgary from 2014 until 2022. Then in July of 2022, he signed with the Columbus Blue Jackets, where he played until he got hit. Now Matthew, who is Johnny's younger brother, and Johnny was called Johnny Hockey, right? So Matthew is Johnny's younger brother. He also played professional hockey, but primarily in the minor leagues. He played with several teams in the AHL, which is the American Hockey League, and the ECHL. He played with the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, the Worcester Railers, and then the Reading Royals. He also played with Stockholm Heat. So it seems like he played mostly in the European League. Now, sadly, so Johnny's wife gave birth to their second child a month after his passing, right on September 30th. So that's a shame, right? And then let's see, Higgins, he was indicted by the grand jury in December 2024. He pled not guilty. He declined a 35-year plea deal. So they offered him a plea, 35 years, but he declined that. He also wanted to be let out. He remains in custody because of a flight risk, but he wants out. He wants to be out with his wife. I think he's got a couple kids. I believe he's a retired Marine or something like that. Let me look up his name again. I'm pretty sure he's a Marine. Let me see if I can find that for you guys. Let's see here. So they offered him a plea in December 23rd of 2024. So he proceeded to drive his SUV a quarter mile down the road before coming to a stop. But I remember in the other pretrial hearing, he hit them so hard that he couldn't drive anymore or something like that. And then he discarded several items when he got out of the car. I'm pretty sure that was beer. Pretty sure he got rid of beer. Let's see what other all right, let's see. Oh, he worked at a local rehab. Interesting. So according to published reports, Sean Higgins had at least 2 prior charges in North Carolina that were ultimately dismissed. So he was charged with DUI in 2005, but escaped conviction because the arresting officer didn't show up. Ooh, I didn't know this. This is all new. He did hold a position with the New Jersey Army National Guard, but he was not on duty at the time of the incident. He served as a field artillery officer attached to the New Jersey Army National Guard and was on drill status. I didn't know that he had been... the report also reflects he had a speeding ticket in 2001, but that was dismissed due to his relatively clean driving history at the time. So he has a field artillery officer assigned to the New Jersey Army National Guard Joint Force Headquarters. He's part-time traditional drill status guardsman and was not on duty at the time of the incident. He also worked at a rehab facility. So nonprofit identified him as an employee. I had no idea he worked at a rehab. Interesting. So he struck them just shortly after 8 o'clock on County Route 551. And he was driving a Jeep Cherokee. Interesting. All right, I did not know these things. Let's see. Matthew's wife gave birth to their first child, a son, after his passing. Thank you for that. Yeah, you know way more than I do, I'm sure. I'm coming in a little blind. We've been following it, but we don't live in the area, so we're not following it as intensely as we are other trials. So whatever you guys, whatever information you have, please feel free. I'm going to have to go over here just for a moment and check in on Lori Daybell. But I will come back here. I'm checking the feed to make sure when it pops up, we can show it to you guys. So I will be back in just one moment. So just bear with me. We're dual streaming right now. So he worked there when all this happened, Kay Adams says. Yeah. Thank you for that, Kay. Okay, I will be back.
Cheer. She should.
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Afternoon, Joe. Yeah.
All right, the first matter we're going to address this afternoon is the matter of State of New Jersey versus Sean Higgins. This comes to the court under indictment 2412-400I. Counsel, please enter your appearances.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Michael Mestern appearing on behalf of the state.
Afternoon, Your Honor. Richard F. Kleinberger III from the firm of Kleinberger Nussey, appearing along with co-counsel. We have defendant Sean Higgins.
Judge, thank you for the record. Matthew Portello on behalf of Sean Higgins, co-counsel.
And thank you, counsel. Counsel, we did have a brief conference in chambers before coming out on the record. And it's my understanding, and I'll speak to the defense first, Mr. Kleinberger, Mr. Portello, you are still in the process of obtaining an expert report.
2 expert reports we're waiting on, Your Honor. We explained the delay for the one. As soon as we have those reports, we will turn them over to the state. Additionally, Your Honor, in the interim, there has been filed 2 motions, one to suppress roadside statement at a certain point, and the other has to do with suppressing data retrieved from the ACM. The one is with the warrant, the one is without a warrant, Your Honor. So the ACM matter is a warrant, so the brief would be due by defense first. The Miranda one is, of course, warrantless, so the state would have to file their brief first.
All right. On the one regarding the warrantless, where state has to file first for the body worn footage, Mr. Mestern, how much time do you need?
Your Honor, at least 2 or 3 weeks. This week is pretty booked up for me, so 2.5 weeks at least.
Sure. Let me pull the calendar up. All right. So what we'll do, Mr. Mestern, is we'll ask Mr. Mestern, we'll ask you to have your brief in on or before this July 7th work for you?
It should be, Your Honor.
So on or before July 7th, and 2 weeks thereafter for the defense takes us to on or before July 21st for your response.
Okay.
Don't you get those dates?
Okay.
Yes.
Switch it for the
And well, let's ask you, can you
I can.
simultaneously get all
Yeah.
that done? Mr. Mester, that works for you too?
It should be, Your Honor.
So on the one where there's the warrant for the airbag, it'll be defense obligation first, followed by your response 2 weeks thereafter.
That
All right.
works.
Perfect, Judge. Thank you.
And so those are the dates. Are there any other housekeeping issues that we need to discuss?
For right now, we're okay, Judge.
Judge, I've discussed with Mr. Mester and any outstanding discovery. It appears that there's only two names of paramedics that he's going to supply to us.
But all the other issues that we previously discussed have been resolved.
Correct, Your Honor.
Yes.
Wonderful. So as we spoke in chambers, due to counsel's availability, due to obviously your expert report, we're looking for a date in August, particularly the third week. And we discussed potential dates, either the 20th or the 21st, I believe, which is a Wednesday or a Thursday. Can we check those dates, Morris?
Mhm.
It's either a Wednesday or Thursday. That would be in the afternoon. We have availability for courtroom. Go with the 21st. All right, I think 21st looks better. All right, we'll go with the 21st, counsel. That will be the Thursday. So,
Is that in the morning or afternoon, Judge?
you prefer the afternoon? Afternoon works better for the court.
Let's say afternoon. Yeah.
Afternoon. So we'll do 8:21 at 1:30.
For the motions and another DC, Judge?
For motions and, yeah, we'll give it a second DC.
Time excludable, of course, Your Honor.
Correct. No objection to excludable time. I know
Exactly.
Judy-
Yeah, I would
That's all.
obviously ask for excludable time attributable to the.
Absolutely. So we're entering an excludable time order between today's date, which is June 10th, and 8:21.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you,
Nice.
counsel. All right. Anything further on the case?
No, Judge.
Nothing from the
Thank you
state.
very much.
Sign that. I'll scan a copy. Yeah. Always do. Always do.
Some of the motions. All right.
That's for him. They don't trust you to hold it.
No, it's just.
Yeah.
All right, seems like that is it for today. Appreciate you guys joining us. Please join us over. Did you do a redirect? We'll see if we get a redirect for you guys. We'll get a redirect for you guys to come join us over at Lori's trial. So just hang on for a second.
Shot because the bullet was not intact, and we had no casing. We had no gun to verify where it came from. We simply had some markings of some possible jacketing and the lead, which appeared consistent with a bullet that was fired.
All right, guys.
Of course,
Thank you for joining us. I'm going to end the stream here. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you over at Lori. Have a good one. Bye.
Fired.